Lenny, tell me, I mean, this will sound like a bit of a strange question, really, coming from me, but why would I join the Women's Development Network, or
Well,
why would my customers join
well,
the Women's Development Network?
let's field the first question first, shall we? You, I would guess, Mr. Sanford, would not join the Women's Development Network unless there's something passing me by entirely. So yeah, it is designed for and aimed at women specifically. Why women specifically? I think for me, if I'm really candid, I find I have a natural affinity, a natural connection with women. And there's obvious reasons as to why that is. I do think women have more prepared perhaps to be a little bit more vulnerable around some of the kind of areas that they're not so good at. They will put things out there a little bit more, and from a coaching and training point of view, you can only really work with what somebody gives you. So for me, I think the more I get from someone, the more they say, this is what I'm struggling with, or this is what I find more challenging or more difficult, I think the more progress you can make. And for everyone, I think that's a challenging thing to do. And I think increasingly, again, in the current climate, that can feel quite vulnerable and can make you feel quite exposed. So for me, it's about giving women in this instance, but my whole job is predicated on giving people generally. But for this program, obviously, we are looking at designing it around the approach for women. It is about giving them a set of tools and techniques, but also self-confidence, self-belief, kind of that internal mechanism to be able to be to achieve the best of their potential. And I think intrinsically women can sometimes get a little bit left behind in terms of those programs and those interventions. So there is always an argument for, well, why are we not doing men's only kind of workshops? Well, I would argue they're just as easy to do, and we can absolutely do those. I would struggle around credibility with that for obvious reasons. So for me, there is an approach for women by women that I think creates a natural connectivity, and that for me is why I'm looking to design it around women. I would argue it whether it's personal, whether it's professional, whether you're internal to an organization or not, it doesn't really matter, because the program is going to be designed in a really bespoke way. So whatever your needs are, whatever your drivers are, whatever your desires in terms of the outcome of the program are, I will look to design the program based around those.